sure all the financial information is digitized so the numbers can be manipulated. 8. I use faxes and email instead of the postal service. 9. I use voice recognition, word processing programs instead of typing documents. 10. I decrease interruptions by reserving certain hours for visits from colleagues. 11. I use teleconferencing instead of traveling to distant locations. 12. I schedule uninterrupted strategic thinking time daily. 13. My assistant screens my telephone calls and takes care of low priority calls, and I dedicate a block of time to return my phone calls. 14. I can digitally track trends and customer history. 15. I have a complete customer database and use it to analyze their needs. 16. I have an ISDN line installed for simultaneous data and voice transmission. 17. I use computerized spreadsheets for marketing, sales, and financial purposes. 18. I use online surveys to track trends, to develop new products and services. 19. I'm up to date and utilize new computer programs on the market. 20. My computer is networked with all the computers in the organization. 21. I recruit new employees via email or the web and keep a recruiting database. 22. I delegate tasks to colleagues and follow up on the work I've delegated. 23. My organization has a website that's customer friendly. 24. I encourage subordinates to send reports via the intranet, disks, or CD-ROMs. 25. My computer system allows the organization, the customer, and the vendor to exchange information as if we were one entity. 26. I achieve the right balance between thinking time and action time. 27. I keep work to a certain number of hours every day to achieve balance in my life. 28. I make daily email connections with my staff. 29. I have a video camera attached to my computer for personal video conferencing. 30. I make sure I know about and use the latest information technology. 31. I store email messages in order to read them later on screen. 32. I use electronic forms instead of paper forms to streamline processes. Now that you've completed the self-assessment, add up your total score. If your score was 32 to 64, you need to learn to use technology to reduce the time you spend working in unproductive and labor-intensive ways. If your score was 65 to 95, you have reasonable time management and technical skills, but they could improve. If your score was 96 to 128, you use your technology efficiently. As the internet adds websites by the hundreds of thousands monthly, More information and research material is available with the click of a mouse. Through the use of powerful search engines, such as Yahoo, one is able to research competitors, products, and developments to easily obtain competitive information. Nothing is fixed, stable, or static anymore, not even pricing. The Internet means that buyers and sellers are more directly connected to each other. It's easy to make constant price adjustments and to do electronic horse trading. The new technologies allow a constant stream of real-time fluctuations of prices to be assessed and acted upon by anyone. Internet search engines and websites of Internet companies like eBay, Priceline.com, and Buy.com are the start of a new organizational model. You, the consumer, name the product or the service you want, such as an airline ticket or a mortgage loan, and state the terms and conditions you wish, including what you're willing to pay. These websites will figure out how to match your needs with what is out there at any given point in time. If what you want is not available at one moment, try them again in 10 minutes, and you may have a better deal. This is forcing competitors to lower their margins and respond to customers more than ever before. eBay offers a powerful view into the future. The symbolic importance of eBay is that this internet auction house brings buyers and sellers together 24 hours a day, thousands of miles from one another, and it allows a direct, unfiltered conversation. Through the eBay website, employees can now individually or as a team walk away from organizations and get hired by a competitor via the medium of the Internet. The most successful companies have turned stable commodities into exciting options, dazzling presentations, and outrageous quality to meet customers' changing needs. Think about what Nike has done to the simple sneaker, what Sony has done to the radio, or what ESPN has done to sports reporting. These companies have differentiated themselves in the marketplace. The consumer wants reassurance that they're buying the most cutting-edge, customized package for their individual needs. Winning companies not only offer specific products, but also offer continuing solutions. Disney continually adds to its core theme parks and gives people exciting options and tools to enhance their experience of entertainment. A new Disney product, game, video, toy, or movie pops into the marketplace every 5 minutes. A vendor who is sincerely committed to respond and even anticipate customer preferences and marketplace changes will prosper. The future of business on the Internet is about relationship building, where brick and mortar retailers can create a second channel of distribution to communicate, market, and build a customer bond. Successful retailers can increase market share by incorporating an organization's website with physical retail stores, allowing an interchangeable and seamless experience for the customer. Amazon.com has captured a large share of the book and music buyers market because of the convenience of the web. The essential ingredient is to design the searching and shopping process to be user-friendly. The website must help the customer make a buying decision. The entity that designs a website from their customer's point of view will be successful. The number one expectation of Internet customers is same-day fulfillment on their orders, especially during holiday seasons. An increasing number of products, such as shoes, newspapers, and music albums, can now be created to match a person's exact requirements. Levi Strauss's capacity to customize their jeans is an example of meeting a customer's individual needs. The customer tries on a sample pair of prototype jeans, and her geometry is beamed directly into the facility where the jeans are made to order. The next step would be to improve and expand the process to cover all Levi products and to develop an alliance with a technology firm so that customers could provide the necessary data through the Internet from the comfort of their homes. Ultimately, the customers will design their clothing from an electronic interactive catalog. This will redefine the world of clothing retailing, the way Dell computers reinvented the world of computer manufacturing, distribution, and sales. Organizations which are able to network their computers to those of their employees, suppliers, consultants, and customers will be more effective, productive, and often smaller. Managers must concentrate on how they want their information to move within and out of the organization. They should also examine all of their internal processes, such as employee reviews, business planning, sales analysis, and product development, and determine how networks and other electronic information tools can make these operations more effective. With the use of technology, small organizations can now compete with large multinational corporations. With one computer and a few software packages, a business owner can have electronic support for all the different functions that a much larger organization can perform. Conventionally, organizations share information internally by exchanging paperwork, placing phone calls, and gathering around a conference table or a whiteboard. Plenty of time and expensive face-to-face meetings and presentations are required to reach good decisions this way. This is inefficient. Organizations that rely on these methods risk losing out to competitors who reach decisions faster while devoting fewer resources and fewer layers of management in the process. Email is now used in place of paper memos, discussions, trip reports, and phone messages. Special email addresses can be used for collecting job applications, product feedback, and communication to separate departments. One can now prioritize incoming email based on a sender's priority list that is designated by the user. When traveling, one can connect to a portable computer back to their organization's electronic mail system every night to receive new messages and send off the ones they've written over the course of a day. When connected to the corporate network from a remote site, one can see how sales are doing, check the status of a report, or access any other management database. Even if a person is 1,000 miles away, he or she can be just as effective as if they were in the office next door. Email can streamline accounts receivable and accounts payable. Companies can execute specific kinds of transactions automatically, such as reordering products, paying bills, and checking the status of shipments. With the use of ISDN telephone connections, one can simultaneously transfer voice and data, allowing sales representatives to improve product support by looking at documents and answering questions while a customer is online. This can reduce the length of an average call by 30 to 40%, which makes customers a lot happier and can cut costs and product prices. Presentation meetings can be replaced with email messages, with spreadsheets and other exhibits enclosed as attachments. When meetings do take place, either face-to-face or electronically, they will be more efficient because the participants will have already exchanged background information by email. Each electronic participant, wherever he or she is, will look at a different physical screen, a video whiteboard, a television set, or a PC, but each screen will show the same image. Geographically distant collaborators can work together in real-time sharing, which means that the computer screens will keep up with the people using them. Video conferencing saves travel time and allows employees in other offices to sit in on staff meetings. Customers and vendors can visit an organization's headquarters without having to travel. Meetings can be more productive than audio-only phone conferences or even face-to-face meetings because people seem to be more attentive if they know they are on camera. As more people get small video cameras featuring high-quality picture and sound attached to their personal computers, they can access anybody with the same equipment and software around the world. As business travel falls off, leisure travel will rise because people will be willing and able to take working vacations, knowing they can stay connected to their offices and homes through the information highway. Telecommuting is a productive work model for workers such as telemarketers, communication service representatives, reservation agents, and product support specialists. They have as much access to information on a screen at home as they would on screen at the office. This allows customer service organizations to be able to use part-time labor very easily. The physical structures of many organizations will change as the number of offices the organization needs is reduced. A single office or cubicle could serve several people whose inside hours were staggered or irregular, thus reducing overhead significantly. Each organization needs to look at its corporate structure and incorporate email as a powerful force for flattening corporate hierarchies. If communication systems are good enough, companies do not need so many levels of management. Intermediaries and middle management, which once passed information up and down the chain of command, aren't as important today as they once were. Because email allows direct access, there are no levels of management between a president and anyone else in the organization. As technology makes it easier for organizations to find and collaborate with outside expertise, an increased market for consultants will arise. For instance, if you want help designing a piece of direct response advertising, you'll simply get on the internet and find a list of consultants with certain qualifications to help you. Technology means low overhead, where market information is plentiful and transactions are carried out at low cost. The traditional middleman will have to contribute a real value to transactions to justify a commission. The consumer will get not only competitive cost savings, but also a much wider variety of products and services from which to choose. All of the goods for sale in the world will be available for potential customers to examine, compare, and often customize. Ultimately, companies that don't serve their customers will see their reputations and their sales decline, while those that do a great job will attract sizable followings through the electronic word of mouth. So what does all of this mean for today's organizations? It means that you should be aware of anything that bogs you down, that unnecessarily ties you to a particular locale or niche, whether it be your strategic plan, product line, fixed assets, real estate, or habits. Beware of allegiance to a permanent office or location, a corporate headquarters, or any hardware or bureaucratic system. If your motto is, "We've always done it this way," you may soon be out of business. Start reviewing your organization, your product line, and your career as an experiment. Consider how you can improve product and service mixes. Encourage people to perpetually alter their jobs and functions in order to create new value to the customer. Strip away bulging corporate staffs, prune down management levels, get rid of all that weight that keeps organizations slow, bolted down, and dated in their responses. Eliminate anything fixed, job descriptions, functions, and lines of authority. Insist that everyone continually recreate their jobs by choosing to work in temporary, cross-disciplinary teams. Appear anywhere. Seek customers, partners, employees, distributors, and suppliers anywhere on the planet. Work and dress casually in every sense of the word. Provide people with a laptop, a cell phone, training, and accountability. Tell them to meet and organize themselves any way they can to serve the customer 24 hours a day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. Let us continue with the second question and answer session. Our first question is from Brazil. It is from the Serviço Nacional de Aprendizagem Comercial in Porto Alegre, the city of Porto Alegre in Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil.
Our question is the following. How can you measure the participation or improve the participation of all the workers and employees of the organizations? Within an organization, how can their participation be enhanced and improved?
That's a great question. The first thing you need to do is get everybody up to speed in terms of having a personal computer. So you can't get them up to speed unless you give them the tools. So everybody has a personal computer and a cell phone, and then the education and how to use it, and you make email mandatory.
Thank you. Our next question is from Mexico. It is from the Secretaría de Educación Pública y Cultura del Estado de Sinaloa in the city of Culiacán in the state of Sinaloa in Mexico.
A question for both speakers. How can you reconcile in a country like Mexico, for instance, the creation of individual values and technological skills in order to adapt to the production needs of those who actually produce technology? Or how can we educate to develop human potential to transform this reality that is a Latin American reality right now? How can we change and transform Latin American reality?
All right. That begins as a child. You have to change the way the education process is. Starting from the lower levels of education, all children need to have computers. They need to connect in with the internet, and they also need to see what other countries are doing through the internet. So if you don't educate the children, then the adults will not be able to use the technology effectively.
Okay.
Yes, I think my point would be very much allied to that of Wendee's. We're talking about new media, new technology, as though they were new. But for children born today, then this new technology has been around as long as they've been living. So it's not something that's a revolution for them in their lives. So we're talking about a gradual change within education.
Our next question is from Mexico. It is from La Universidad Autónoma de Chihuahua, in the city of Chihuahua, the state of Chihuahua, in Mexico.
Good morning. What would be the positive influence or negative influence on the health, individuals or communities' health in the society of the 24 hours?
Well, I think the negative portion of the technology has to do with your wrists and your eyes, because there'll be lots of typing and lots of looking at the screen. So of course we're going to develop better products so we don't hurt ourselves using this technology. They also have some indications that using cell phones can actually cause cancer. So we're working on better digital cell phones. But in terms of the positive, it far outweighs the negative. We're able to actually have more time to have more fun, which is really great. And we could do a lot more in less time.
Thank you. And now from Brazil, from the Universidade Católica de Pelotas, in the Ciudad Pelotas, in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil.
Okay. Good morning. In your opinion, is the adaptation of the new realities of the 24-hour society easier to the employee or to the employer?
I think it has to be simultaneously done between the employee and the employer. One cannot block the progress of the other. I believe that without the employer being willing to go ahead with new technology, the employee will not be able to move forward. So it has to be simultaneously adopted.
Thank you for your excellent questions, but unfortunately we have run out of time. Thank you again, Ms. Graham and Ms. Mason. We hope that you have enjoyed participating in this program, and thank you to all of our associates for their enthusiastic participation. We invite you to participate in the 5th video conference of this year's series, which will air on May 4, entitled The A Generation, Its Impact, Preferences, and Values. For additional information on the year 2000 video conference series, please consult your participants' manual, where you will find the dates and specific topics for each program. We also invite you to visit our website, Intektra, INTEKTRA.com. I'm Richard Page, and on behalf of the ITC, I thank you for your participation and interest in today's program.